The Caswell handicap. It went to Airy, heavily back to start, 9-4 equal favourite. Airy was in command at the home turn, kicked just after straightening, and really wasn't in any threat at any stage down the straight.
Black Dynamo hugging the rail, a length apiece, a horse off the fence and wider out as they run towards the 450 is High Energy, and 2 lengths away Young Lion, Brawny Boy, Verrianne, and Little's Boy next from Call the Diver. Airy shaken up as they swing round the corner, kicked 2 lengths the break on Black Dynamo, whose rider's gone for the whip. Apiece in third position, followed by Step Proudly and a length the High Energy. Inside the 200 and Airy well clear, 2.5 lengths on Black Dynamo. It's making no impression, neither is Apiece, followed by Step Proudly and High Energy, but Airy's untroubled, and Airy goes to the line to win at about 3.5 lengths to a tight finish. Black Dynamo and Apiece behind those next High Energy, and then...
The second was the Bennett handicap. Sorry, Ken, if I'm interrupting. The second was the Bennett handicap. It went to Tibetan Heights, the first winner for Young Knock. You'll notice just after he makes the home turn, he steals a break, and it proved to be a winning break because Reuters News made up plenty of territory late.
Snookered from Sabre Tayyib, again making leeway. Rayonia next, followed by Serradio, Highland Lord, Bo Dusty's given up, and then Czar King, and Bold Advance at the rear of the field. The rider going for home on Tibetan Heights at the 400. Swinging the bend, Tibetan Heights has raced about 4 King Zam. Sabre Tayyib another 2 lengths away, third from Mowamba. Rayonia is a long way back, so too Reuters News and Golmarmian, 200 to go. And Tibetan Heights a big leader. It's about 4 lengths clear on Sabre Tayyib, followed by King Zam, and the others headed by Reuters News. Tibetan Heights is getting pretty weary. Sabre Tayyib and Reuters News flying home, but Tibetan Heights is going to win the money. Tibetan Heights has beaten Reuters News, who flew to the line. Third Sabre Tayyib, and then King Zam Gold.
Dashing ride that by Knock, very confident young man at the moment. The third went to Marturus. He shared the lead on the fence at the home turn. The favourite Set Magic was forced 3 wide, but had his chance to run down the leader in the straight. It was a good result for bookies. Marturus starting at 9-1 and tipping out the favourite.
Decision, the leader, and neck on Marturus. Set Magic a handy third from Fixed Star, Spirit of Ireland, our Renee, Georgia. Universalis is hemmed away, and then Love in Flight, followed by Forever Now, Flying Bright with a song at Aussie Actress. At the 400, coming onto the home corner, Hope and Decision, a horse off the rail, about to be taken on again by Set Magic, 3 deep, and on the fence Marturus. A couple behind them, Fixed Star, and then Universalis, who's made up many lengths but is under the whip. At the 200, Marturus, again about a half length on Set Magic, a length to Fixed Star, inclined to race greenly. They've dropped Hope and Decision, but Marturus in front is holding Set Magic and Fixed Star, and Marturus untroubled in the run of the line to win at a length and a quarter to Set Magic. Third home was Fixed Star, and then came our Renee and Universe.
Proud Tradition was heavily backed in the 4th event, went out favourite at 5-2. He looked to be travelling okay in the lead coming to the home turn, but Coral Beach had his measures just after straightening, and this was win 2 to Young Knock, and Coral Beach goes on to score well from Tamarin. Proud Tradition retiring third.
Increasing his lead on her at the 400. 2 lengths the break on Coral Beach, 3 to Miss Hazard, then Ottalingo, New Dawn, and 2 Tamarin the length. Huzzy around the corner. Coral Beach is coming after Proud Tradition very quickly. Proud Tradition ahead. Coral Beach, who looks to be doing better though, and they've kicked about 4 Tamarin. Sister Padrille running on from Miss Hazard, but Coral Beach, as the rider goes for her, about a half to 3/4 of a length. Proud Tradition, who can't do any better, 2 lengths away, third Tamarin, then Sister Padrille, but it's all Coral Beach. Hello, Tamarin runs on. Coral Beach lasts to win by 3/4 Tamarin, third Proud Tradition, then Sister Padrille, who died on...
The 5th was the 2 E's Light handicap, and No Scolding's been in great form of late. 3 wins in succession going into yesterday's race. Made it 4 in a row in dashing style from Sprightly Night and Crayons.
Scolding and Sir Centurion, 2.5 Bentira, Delta Sun and Prince Benefit is last of all. Coming along to the 400 metres, which brings them round the corner, and Crayons a length, Sprightly Night. On the inside, Loader Gold can't get a crack at them, followed by Noble Beauty, and Relapse trying to get out, and here comes No Scolding taken to the extreme outside. Entering the straight, and No Scolding is after the stablemate Crayons, and between them Sprightly Night, but No Scolding's going well. The rider pulls the whip, and No Scolding shot away. Here's a treble coming up for Greg Knock. No Scolding streaking clear, and in second posse Sprightly Night, Crayons third, and that's the way they finish.
Tommy Smith trained Pashenka's Gem was a very big tip for the 6th event. Opened very tight, fractional odds on, and despite heavy backing for Glamour Plus, Pashenka's Gem started the favourite and scores well. And notice she'll switch a tail in the straight when Harris pulls the whip.
Dinky Flower and a good gap then to Lebreeve, and on the outside of it is Fleur as they straighten up. Now Pashenka's Gem is hanging. It leads about a half length or so on Glamour Plus. It's racing greenly. Pashenka's Gem a half length, now only about a neck on Glamour Plus. 2.5 Sparkling Rhythm. Pashenka's Gem. Harris goes for the whip now. She's kicked. She's switching the tail, but is a length clear on Glamour Plus. Dinky Flower running home, but Pashenka's Gem wheeling that tail like a whirlwind, but it's too good. Pashenka's Gem has beaten Glamour Plus and Dinky Flyer, then Stark Fact, Dalton, Sparkling Rhythm.
Plenty of ability, that filly, and she's going to win more races for Robert Holmes at court. 7th event, and Clever Fiddle gets there in the last few strides from the favourite Zapotia, who looked certain to score 100 metres out, but Clever Fiddle just a little too strong.
Of a length, Haddington on the inside, Bold Heather third, Scarlet Flynn fourth, a length Zapotia and Harris hard at work on the favourite. There's a bad fall. There's 3 of them down. So Sudden's down. So too is Kangaloon. We'll tell you more about it later. A sensational fall as they straighten up. Double-edged in front. Haddington the inside, a length and a half. Zapotia still battling on, followed by Clever Fiddle, hooking out now. Zapotia after double-edged. Haddington doesn't be able to do any better, and Clever Fiddle is storming into it now. Zapotia in front, but Clever Fiddle is finishing the better. Oh, is he? Yes, he is. He gets there, Clever Fiddle, by only a half head. Clever Fiddle has beaten Zapotia. Double-edged was third.
500 metres, 4 horses come down. Fortunately, 3 of the riders escaped injury. Young Norm Pays was the only one to be hospitalised, but it could have easily been a very serious accident, that 4 runners coming down. The final event was the welter. It went to Noble Connection. He sweeps to the lead about the 300 metres and goes on to score a decisive win from Beset and Lucky Century.
A good clip, about 2 lengths nearly on Noble Connection. On the fence is Sky Treasure. Then the former American El Unico around Beset. 1 Lucky Century, Pagma Mahal. Elroy snookered 2 lengths to Tuna 2, hard ridden, and Il Rubino's another 2 lengths away. Up to the bend at the 350, and here's Noble Connection throwing down the gauntlet to Bellini. Draws level now, and soon after pokes his head in front. About a length and a half to 2 lengths away, Sky Treasure. El Unico under pressure, and then Lucky Century, but Noble Connection's drawn clear at the 100. Noble Connection a length and a half. Bizet starting to run on from Sky Treasure, and then Lucky Century and Bellini, but Noble Connection's in no danger, and Noble Connection goes on to win it a length and a half. Bizet.
They were the 8 events from Canterbury yesterday. Looking now at the double and treble information. Firstly, the double. We have there 1 and 4 paid $26.80, while the treble from Canterbury 1 and 4 paid $96.90. Today we'll get straight down to business. The first was the Maribyrnong Plate. The favourite Martec looked in some danger about 300 metres out, but he responds very well to hands and heels riding to go on to for a decisive win.
From Opal Search, Silky Lad pulled out wide and Blazing Devil at the 400, and County sticking with Love a Kiss and Martec, the 3 in line. 2 lengths to Kingston, Jamaica and Fiedgia Star, and the others are struggling. At the 300, Martec called on for its effort, can't get away. Love a Kiss sticking with it. They've drawn away now from Kingston, Jamaica and Fiedgia Star. Martec ahead in front of Love a Kiss and doing better, and Martec drawing away, and the first favourite gets the money. Martec comes away to win by a length and a quarter to Love a Kiss. 3/4 of a length Kingston, Jamaica third, ahead Fiedgia Star falling.
Sydney-trained Wage Freeze has built up quite a reputation in recent months, and he certainly delivered the goods in the Carbine Club Stakes. Very confident ride by Ron Quinton. You'll notice him in the black on the fence, the red cap. He doesn't really go for Wage Freeze until well into the straight, and the 3-year-old goes on to score well from Roman Aspect, and the Challenge, who makes up good ground late.
For room along the rails, Wage Freeze again went to Roman Aspect at the 400. They're together from King of Interest. Highcliffe having trouble getting out. Keepers is trying to find a way out too, but Wage Freeze fought back, took the lead at the 200 from Roman Aspect. Clear of Highcliffe and the Challenge coming home out wide, but Wage Freeze drew away from Roman Aspect. He's got it won. The Challenge battling on in 3rd placing, but Wage Freeze goes on to win by more than 2 lengths to Roman Aspect. The Challenge 3rd. 4th in the centre, Highcliffe, a good gap.
The Bart Cummings stable followers threw in for a big win on Sculptor in the Black Douglas Stakes, and the 3-year-old really didn't look in any danger from about the 200 metres, where he took the lead from Brave Show, who was hanging badly, and Pride of Kalina makes up good territory late and might be one to follow.
Willie coming down to the 400, Brave Show hanging badly out, a length and a half to Stablemate Solo Performance. They're all under pressure behind this. Sweet Willie's the one starting to run on well at the 300, however, and Brave Show starting to stop a little bit from Solo Performance. Then Sculptor coming home well. Sweet Willie's run its race, I think. Sculptor's finishing better. He's grabbed Brave Show at the 200 from Solo Performance. Sculptor's dash to the lead. Reptor's starting to come home very well now, but Sculptor race clear, and it's got it won. Sculptor's going on to win it by more than 2 lengths. Pride of Kalina's run second out wide from Barracus. Just inches behind them then was Solo.
From a Melbourne Cup viewpoint, the race of great interest was the Mackinnon Stakes. The Wait for Age event has been a great lead up to the Cup, although only one horse has been able to win the double in the last 25 years. That was Rain Lover back in 1968. Veloso certainly underlined his Cup prospects with a very good win here and a very clever ride from Peter Cook. You'll notice Caissiere gets trapped 3 wide. Cook on Veloso forces him out off the track all the way, and probably Caissiere could be rated unlucky, so his Cup effort was good. Keep an eye on Nostradamus. He's the horse in blue, back last now.
Glenn Morrison's going to be the pacemaker. Veloso getting up handy early, and they're followed by Kiwi Slave on the fence from Noble Heights. 2 lengths to Mr. Jazz, 2 to Shay New, and then Marked Vogel and Nostradamus. Going towards the 1600, Glenn Morrison, 3 parts to Hayai, a half Tristram Lad. Then Caissiere trapped 4 deep in this field, and a length to Veloso. 2 lengths to Kiwi Slave, Mr. Jazz, 1 to Noble Heights, a length Shay New, Marked Vogel, and 2 to Nostradamus. At the 1400, a steady pace, and the leader is Glenn Morrison, 1 to Hayai. Half a length Tristram Lad, and a length further back Caissiere still 3 deep, and keeping it out there Veloso. 1.5 Kiwi Slave, who's moved up on the outside of Mr. Jazz, a length and a half Shay New. Then Mark Vogel, Noble Heights wide, and 2 lengths away last Nostradamus. Heading to the 1200 metre mark, and Glenn Morrison maintaining an even pace, 3 parts of a length to Hayai, 1 to Tristram Lad, and a half length. Caissiere has had no luck in the run. Veloso's doing it all right, a half length away, and so is Kiwi Slave, a length further back from Mr. Jazz. Shay New trailing Kiwi Slave, and a length into Noble Heights, Mark Vogel, and 2 to Nostradamus. At the 800, and the leader still Glenn Morrison at his girth, the Caulfield Cup winner Hayai. 1 to Caissiere now. Here's Kiwi Slave and Shay New, 4 and 5 wide making their runs. Next Tristram Lad, and then Veloso looking for a split, followed by Nostradamus to the outside from Noble Heights. Round the turn, Hayai went to the lead from Caissiere. Glenn Morrison is done. Kiwi Slave coming at them. Tristram Lad trying to get out. Shay New struggling. And then Veloso, he came out suddenly. Cook to make his run. Kiwi Slave took the lead from Caissiere, but Veloso's coming at them quickly on the outside. It's Caissiere fighting back. Veloso doing better. Kiwi Slave the centre, and then Nostradamus. Veloso's taken the lead with 100 to go from Kiwi Slave, and Caissiere fighting back on the inside. But Veloso, hands and heels, is going to win a thrilling Mackinnon. About a neck to Caissiere, a head away Kiwi Slave third. 2 lengths to Mr. Jazz fourth.
Apart from the winner and runner-up, I thought the 2 best Cup trials came from Mr. Jazz and Nostradamus, but we'll highlight those when we have our Cup preview after the full rundown of the Flemington meeting. The Victoria Derby, it's a race that's eluded Harry White, who's won most of Melbourne's top events, including the Melbourne Cup a couple of times, but yesterday he gave a great display on Bounty Hawk to combine with Bart Cummings and land the Melbourne Classic. Carbine battles on very well after sharing the lead most of the way, and the disappointment was King Delamere, who finished last and was subsequently reported that he'd been under a cloud with injury in the couple of days leading up to the Classic. But this is how Bounty Hawk and Harry White land the Victoria Derby.
Next is King Delamere, fine offer, and last out of the straight will be Triflow. At the 2200 metre mark now, and Handsome Seattle's gone to the lead in the Derby. Surprising tactic. A length to Albany Bay, second from Bounty Hawk in on the rails, 2 to Not Declared. Then Irish Lord, Count Mendip, 1 to Centane, a length to Carbine, King Delamere. They were followed 2 lengths away, Triflow and Fine Offer together. Handsome Seattle at the 2000 out by 2 lengths. He's trying to steady him from Albany Bay on the outside of Bounty Hawk. Carbine might take them all on and go to the lead here. He's going around them quickly. 2 to Irish Lord, Not Declared, a length and a half, Count Mendip, Centane, 1 to Fine Offer, moving past King Delamere, and a half to Triflow. Carbine led as they passed the 1800. Heading to the 1600, Carbine out 3 lengths to Handsome Seattle, 1 to Albany Bay, a half Bounty Hawk in the box seat. 3 lengths to Not Declared on the outside of Irish Lord, and then a couple of lengths further back in the field, Count Mendip. Centane the rails, a length to Fine Offer, a half to King Delamere, and a length away in last placing is Triflow. They sweep by the 1400 metre mark now. Carbine about a length and a half, Albany Bay, and a half to Handsome Seattle, getting a bit of a smother now. Bounty Hawk dropped the bit and dropped out 3 lengths away next from Not Declared and Irish Lord. 1 to Count Mendip, a length to Centane, a half to Fine Offer, 2 to King Delamere, and a half to Triflow. Past the 1200, Carbine by 2 lengths, Albany Bay shading Handsome Seattle the rails. 4 lengths away, Bounty Hawk being niggled at, and a half to Not Declared. 1 and a half to Fine Offer. Thompson's off on it round the outside of Irish Lord and Count Mendip. A length and a half, Centane, 1 to Triflow, and King Delamere's last with 800 to go. Carbine led, a little over length, Albany Bay, Handsome Seattle the rails. Here they come round the outside now, making their runs after the leader. And one of them is Fine Offer, is improving his position round the outside. Then came Irish Lord as they swept to the corner now, and back behind them Not Declared, and Bounty Hawk's off again. Cabobany led a length and a half into the straight. Handsome Seattle struggling. Bounty Hawk's making a strong run on the outside, and then Albany Bay. Fine Offers well gone, and then Not Declared. Bounty Hawk tackling Cabobany at the 200. Cabobany won't give in, and then Albany Bay. It's Bounty Hawk now getting to Cabobany, 150 to go, and he's going to be the best stayer. Bounty Hawk drew to the lead from Cabobany, and then Albany Bay, Handsome Seattle, and Bounty Hawk draws away to score a big win. A length and a half to Cabobany, third Albany Bay, fourth Irish Lord.
Was a good staying performance from Bounty Hawk, and perhaps this time next year we'll be discussing his prospects in the Melbourne Cup. The sixth event was the Wakeful Stakes, and Neville Begg, trained like Caissiere, very well ridden by Ron Quinton, gets the money here, but the good run from Taj Eclipse right down the outside.
Casey Bell took the lead from Beltitude and Russian Queen. Sabre Dancer locked up with La Caissiere, and down the outside Starry Rocket. Raging Rivers struggling. Taj Eclipse coming from last with a good run now. It's starting to peg them back quickly. La Caissiere took the lead, however, from Casey Bell. Taj Eclipse rattling home, but under the whip, and La Caissiere stolen a big break. Taj Eclipse trying to peg it back. It's still La Caissiere, a length and a half to Taj Eclipse with 50 to go. Taj Eclipse is making ground, but La Caissiere in front near the line end. La Caissiere won. About a long head to Taj Eclipse, 6 lengths away third Sabre Dancer.
You may recall back in June, Melbourne trainer Bob Hoisted, who was wintering his horses in Brisbane, in an interview with the Sports Scene, tipped to River Rough to land a big race sometime this year. Well, yesterday the Pure Pack Stakes was that race. River Rough exploded away about the 300 metres. Worth made a late lunge to make an exciting finish, but River Rough just held on. The big Worth and Bowl Jet. Queenslander Daybreak Lover never out of the ruck.
And Mr. Magic starting to make up some ground too. On the inside, River Rough quickly raced away to take the lead at the 300. Quabo's gone. In second placing, Worth. River Rough's raced a mile in front. From Worth on the outside, Bullion Broker getting through with Quabo. And coming down the outside of the track, Show Moran and Buljet when it's all over. River Rough stopping, but has won it about a neck to Worth. Close for third, Bow Mistress or Buljet from Mr. Magic, Show Moran.
The final event was the Dalgety, another very important Melbourne Cup trial, and Jeff Murphy produced a very good cup chance here to make it 2 in a row when Chagemar lands the money. His effort in the Moonee Valley Cup was very good, but he went one better yesterday. Very good ride from Darren Gauci. We'll pick them up at the start here. Keep an eye on Chagemar. He's in the reddish colours, and young Gauci gives him every chance.
With Larka Cotton on the inside, English Wonder. Bianco Lady moving up towards the lead. And then Sir Galahad, Affinity, the outside, Carrying Bush Lady, Huzzar's Command, Just a Dash. Huzzar's Command dropped back quickly, and as they went out of the straight, Amaranth is last. Past the 2200 they race now, and Affinity joined Bianco Lady. They're both pulling like mad. Carrying Bush Lady goes up to make a line of 3, a length English Wonder. Chagemar was next, and then Centra Brecius 3 deep. Larka caught the rails, a length Huzzar's Command, 1.5 Just a Dash. Then Rake's Pride, Sir Galahad 3 deep, and a length to Amaranth. Past the 1800, Carringbush takes over now by 2 lengths. Bianco Lady pulling at Affinity. 2 to English Wonder, a half Centra Brecius, a length and a half Larka caught at its girth Chagemar. 1.5 Huzzar's Command, Just a Dash. A couple of lengths away then. Sir Galahad 3 deep, Amaranth the rails, and Rake's Pride the centre. At the 1600, Carringbush Lady out 4 lengths to Bianco Lady and Affinity. 2 lengths English Wonder and Centra Brecius together. 3 lengths to Larka Cot and Chagemar. A length and a half Just a Dash, Huzzar's Command. A length away Amaranth the rails. Rake's Pride the centre, and Sir Galahad, he's still out 3 and 4 wide on this in last placing. They go towards the 1400, and Carringbush Lady back to a length and a half lead over Affinity and a neck Bianco Lady. 2 English Wonder and Centra Brecius together. 2.5 Chagemar just shading Larka caught the rails. 2 to Huzzar's Command. They slow up here, a half Just a Dash, a length to Sir Galahad deep from Rake's Pride and a length to Amaranth. 12 lengths cover them at the 1000. Carringbush Lady 1 to Affinity, 1 Bianco Lady and a half Centra Brecius. 1.5 English Wonder, a length and a half Chagemar. Larka caught badly pocketed. Sir Galahad making ground, but he couldn't keep going from Rake's Pride. And then Huzzar's Command, and 2 to Just a Dash and Amaranth last. On the turn, 650 out. Carringbush Lady almost joined by Affinity and Centra Brecius out 3 deep. 4 wide Sir Galahad and 5 wide Rake's Pride. They're followed by Bianco Lady looking for a run, and so now is Chagemar. Into the straight, Carrying Bush Lady and Affinity, tackled by Centra Brecius. Chagemar trying to get out. They were followed then by Larkacott, boxed in on the fence with Bianco Lady, English Wonder and Azar's Command, and Amarant's tailed off last. Halfway down the straight now, Affinity and Carrying Bush Lady from Centra Brecius. Chagemar getting through, and Azar's Command coming from last, grabbed them all, and wider out Just a Dash. Chagemar, Azar's Command, Centra Brecius. Chagemar fighting on, Centra Brecius drew level with it. They go to the line, heads bobbing. Chagemar, Centra Brecius, nearly a dead heat. It's a bob of the head. Just behind.
Just a Dash finished 4th in that event and did his cup chances no harm. He won the race, the Melbourne Cup, 2 years back, and certainly coming in now as a strong chance. But Amarant, who tailed off, looks as though his prospects now look, well, almost hopeless. Have a look now at the double and treble information from Flemington. 6 and 14 were the double numbers, $22.85, while the treble, 6, 6 and 14, paid $172.90, and the extra double from Flemington, 5 and 6, paid $18.45. Well, it is the big one on Tuesday, the Melbourne Cup. We'll have a look firstly at the field. The barrier draw was completed last night. It made it a little difficult. Veloso's drawn out at 21, but there's the Cup field. Just a Dash will head them onto the track. Fountaincourt, the New Zealander. And the VRC committee exercised their right to place Noble Comment in the field. He was actually 27th in the list of qualifiers, but he was inserted in the field at the expense of outsider Zama. It's quite a classy Cup field, but I think quite a few of these are out of form. Of the bottom division there, Toujours, Mio and Noble Comment certainly are going to be very hard to beat, but it's difficult to see any of those bottom 4 or 5 coming in with a chance. Certainly Mr Jazz, his effort yesterday to finish 4th in the Mackinnon was very good, and Bart Cummings, we know, is a wizard in the Melbourne Cup. 7 wins so far in the Cup for Cummings. We'll have a look now at the Cup highlights. We've got a rundown of the major Cup lead-ups, starting off with the Caulfield Cup, which was run on a particularly heavy track. Hayai was well suited here. That's him scooting to the lead at the home turn. Cossack Prince, who's subsequently broken down and been retired, 2nd. Larkacott battling on for 3rd. Strong staying performance this from Hayai, but he certainly relished the wet conditions.
The others can't win, but Hayai is hanging on to his lead from Cossack Prince. In fact, he's increasing it, and Hayai drawing right away in the concluding stages. Almost an all-the-way victory to Hayai by 3 lengths. 2nd placing, close Cossack Prince, a nose in front of Larkacott, 3rd.
The second one we have for you is the Moonee Valley Cup, and a strong staying performance from Toujours Mio. He was runner-up in the Adelaide Cup, so he can handle the distance, and he gets up to defeat Chagemar, who battled on very strongly and followed up this performance with his win in the Dalgety. That's Toujours Mio down the outside.
Chagemar, 100 to go. Chagemar fights back. Toujours Mio ahead in front of Chagemar, and Toujours Mio wins the Moonee Valley Cup.
The New Zealand Fountaincourt was sent out favourite in the Caulfield Cup, and he disappointed on the heavy conditions, but he makes amends here with a strong finish to win the Werribee Cup last Wednesday. Noble Comment, 3rd last year in the Melbourne Cup. That's him in front there in the yellow colours, but Fountaincourt swamps him in the final 50 metres.
Fountaincourt going to Noble Comment, and Fountaincourt has put up a great run to win. Here's Kiwi
trials there. Now here we go with the Mackinnon Stakes. That's Nostradamus, blue colours, coming towards the outside now. You'll notice him make up good ground. Veloso, well ridden by Peter Cook, just easing between runners there. And Kiamare in the yellow and the red cap, forced very wide all the way, so his effort was good. But watch Mr Jazz and Nostradamus in the final stages.
Suddenly Cook to make his run. Kiwi Slave took the lead from Kiamara, but Veloso's coming at them quickly on the outside. It's Kiamara fighting back, Veloso doing better, Kiwi Slave the centre, and then Nostradamus. Veloso's taken the lead with 100 to go from Kiwi Slave, and Kiamara fighting back on the inside. But Veloso, hands and heels, is going to win a thrilling Mackinnon. About a neck to Kiamara, a head away Kiwi Slave 3rd. On the turn, 650 out, Carrying Bush Lady almost joined by a...
Very well ridden by Darren Gouch. He slices between runners in the straight to just score from centre Bryces. And I thought the effort of the 3rd runner, Hussar's Command, was good. And Just a Dash, watch him getting down the outside in a sound Cup trial.
Chagemar trying to get out. They were followed then by Larkacott, boxed in on the fence with Bianco Lady, English Wonder and Azar's Command, and Amarant's tailed off last. Halfway down the straight now, Affinity and Carrying Bush Lady from Centra Brecius. Chagemar getting through, and Azar's Command coming from last, grabbed them all, and wider out Just a Dash. Chagemar, Azar's Command, Centra Brecius. Chagemar fighting on, Centra Brecius drew level with it. They go to the line, heads bobbing. Chagemar, Centra Brecius, nearly a dead heat. It's a bob of the head.
Well, certainly the best Melbourne Cup form has always been the horses who have handled the 3,200 metres in past events. And we'll have a look at last year's Melbourne Cup. And this is how Gurner's Lane scores from Kingston Town. And have a look at the run of Noble Comment, who finished third. Certainly gives him a great chance in the Cup this year.
Brewery Boy out very wide with triumphal march as they move over the crossing the first time. Who's going to lead them down the straight the first time? It looks to be Noble Comment going through on the inside to be joined by Gala Mascot. Carrying Bush trapped out 3 deep, and they're followed then by Kingston Town right behind the leaders. Then Port Carling and Ali Bijou. Rose and Thistle pulling on the outside, and they're followed then by Brewery Boy, who's pulling himself towards the lead. Back behind them was Astral In, and then Just a Dash on the outside. They're followed by Triumphal March getting across from Dry Wine. Wellington Road was next in the Cup, followed by Mr. Digby over on the inside. Then Dealer's Choice is getting well back. Second last is Mysore Avon with Magistrate, and last of all was Toha. Homeward bound, 600 metres left to go, and Kingston Town moving up on the outside of Noble Comment. They're followed in third place by Triumphal March, who's battling back. Wider on the track was Astral In. LA Bijou coming into it too. 400 left to go. Noble Comment joined by the King. Kingston Town on the outside. Grab the lead now from Noble Comment. Mysore Avon finishing well out wide, followed by LA Bijou. Then Triumphal March, 250 metres left to go. The crowd roars. Kingston Town in front. Noble Comment fighting back, followed by Mysore Avon on the outside, and Gurner's Lane flying on the inside. Gurner's Lane after Kingston Town. Gurner's Lane and Kingston Town. Gurner's Lane going a shade the better, and Gurner's Lane wins the Cup from Kingston Town. Tight the third. No.
Inspired ride there from Queenslander Mick Dittman to score on Gurner's Lane. Dittman, incidentally, was forced to stand down from the Flemington meeting yesterday. He has something of a mystery virus which affected him during the week in Sydney also, and he'll make a decision today whether he will line up in the Melbourne Cup. Well, we've had all the Cup lead-ups and studied the video replays. I'll be honest, I'm still in a state of confusion, but I settled on the New Zealander Nostradamus as my Cup tip. I thought back in June and July when he raced in Brisbane, I thought really looked like he'd handle a 3,200 metres when he matured a little in the spring. His Herbert Power Stakes win was very good 3 starts back. He failed in the Caulfield Cup on a heavy track, but I liked his effort yesterday in the Mackinnon Stakes. He certainly wasn't suited under the weight for age conditions, 2,000 metres. He'll be a vastly different horse, 3,200 metres. I've tipped him from another New Zealander, the aptly named Kiwi, and for third I'll put in Noble Comment, who filled that placing last year. But it's a wide open race, and any one of about 20 horses could probably win this year's Melbourne Cup. We'll be back a little later in the program to have a look at the Brisbane meeting at Doomben yesterday, and after this break... Yes, David, I don't really think that any other race meeting or race course can generate that feeling, because all of Australia just comes to a standstill at 1:40 as daylight saving time. But yeah, the Stradbroke Handicap, Elders Handicap Day, Brisbane Cup Day, they have their own feeling, but it's just not like the Melbourne Cup. You have to be there to appreciate it.
And I think for my first one, I couldn't have picked a better finish with the flashing performance of Kiwi over the final stages.
Yes, one of the best 3,200 metres performances we've seen in Australia for a long, long time. He's a very good rider, Jimmy Cassidy. He's only 20, and I think that he's probably going to come to Australia, and I don't think it'll be too many years before he's recognised as one of the best riders in the world.
Well, I was tipped Kiwi about 10 minutes before the race started. I didn't get on it. And
you got my message, though.
Yeah, about 1,000 metres from home, I thought, well, I'm glad Keith McCarthy gave me that tip, because it's gone. There's no way in the world it's going to win, and then home it came. Yes,
I think only the really staunch Kiwi supporters gave him a chance at that stage, but that was the plan before the Cup. Jimmy Cassidy and the owner-trainer Snow Lupton...
The clock tower, he said, make the run.
Well, they were adamant the horse had to be last, and Roy Higgins spoke to Cassidy before the race, and Cassidy outlined his riding plan. He said, I'll be last on the turn out of the straight. And Higgins said, well, good luck, you've got no hope in the Cup. He said, they just can't come from last. But I think in his favour was the fact of the very fast pace. I don't think he could have won if Combat hadn't set that fast early pace. It made it for a horse to run on.
Well, it was only, what, a second outside Run Lover's time, wasn't it?
Oh, great time. And, you know, I think if he comes to Queensland next year, the Brisbane Cup is going to be a great race for Kiwis, an out-and-out stayer, and Cassidy's a great rider. I think we're going to have a look now at the Melbourne Cup, and you'll notice Kiwi is last until, well, almost at the home turn. He's only in front of one horse, and it's really a powerful finish that he unleashes in the final, about 250 metres. You could see him about, I'd suppose, 150 metres out. I felt that he was going to get to Noble Comment, even though he was still 5 or 6 lengths off the lead at that stage. This is how Kiwi won the 1983 Melbourne Cup.
300, it's a length and a half to Noble Comment and Mr. Jazz the outside, then Triumphal March, Nostradamus. Kiamare grabbed by Noble Comment and Mr. Jazz. Mr. Jazz, Noble Comment, Kiamare clear. Veloso making some sort of a run, and Kiwi late It's going to be close here. Kiwi's going to beat them all with a mighty run. Kiwi swamps them on the line, and Kiwi's won at a length and a half to Noble Comment. Ahead away third was Mr. Jazz.
We'll be looking at the rest of the Melbourne races later in the program, but now it's time to look at how some people celebrated Kiwi's win in the 1983 Melbourne Cup.
It began sedately enough, a five-course sit-down dinner with a few drinks, and then two of the more distinguished guests arrived, winning jockey Jim Cassidy and part owner of Kiwi, Anne Lupton, but husband and trainer of the horse, Snowy, was nowhere to be seen. Nevertheless, with or without him, the party was only just beginning.
Excuse me, madam, did you have a successful day at the races today?
Oh, that was a beautiful day today.
1 million. How much did you win?
Oh, about 27,000.
27,000? What are you going to do with all that?
Well, we're going back to Hong Kong and spend it.
How long will you be here, do you think?
Until the night is over.
What about you, sir? Were you successful today?
No, I lost money.
You lost money?
I did my money, yeah.
Excuse me, madam, did you have a good day at the races today?
I didn't go.
Did you go to the TAB?
No, I sat at home and watched it on the TV and got blind.
You got blind?
I still am.
And then, shortly before 10 o'clock, Snowy Lupton arrived and really couldn't understand what all the fuss was about.
Snow, what kept you?
Oh, we had to give the horse a pick and box him up for the night.
Still you here tonight? Are you going to be partying on for a while?
Oh, well, yes, I suppose so, yes.
But for many of the other 80,000 revellers trackside at Flemington, the celebrations began early yesterday morning. At that time of the day, there wasn't much glamour, but neither was there the loutish behaviour witnessed in recent years. It was clear that the VRC's ban on bringing alcohol into the racetrack had got through. While all roads leading to the course were packed, racegoers arriving by rail could drink champagne on the station platform, or have a second option, not one for the road but one for the track. Traditionally, Melbourne Cup Day is a day of contrasts. For some, it was a day of glamour, a chance to show off the latest outfits in fashions on the field and to catch a glimpse of celebrities like the new-look Susan Sangster, sophisticated bachelor Peter Johnson and zany Jeannie Little.
I'm having a ball. I think it's the wildest Melbourne Cup I've ever attended. And that's saying something. In case it rains, this is waterproof.
There was even the flamboyant English designer Zandra Rhodes.
Lots of fabulous hats, really lovely little swirls and bits of net. It's been wonderful.
The members' car park was the other place to be seen. In fact, being distinctive was hard, as sipping champagne next to a Rolls Royce was almost commonplace. But it was a different story out near the public car park. The picture says it all, and for some the day was over even before the first race. But not long after, it was 2:40, the time that everything stops for the great race. But last night, several hours after the jockeys and horses had gone, this was the not-so-glamorous scene. The lawns on trackside were carved up, not with a familiar racing hoof, but with mounds of rubbish. It was a stark reminder of the biggest day of punting in Australia. Yet the glamour was still at the racetrack, and fine conditions meant that it continued to focus on the members' car park throughout the evening. And some had already made up their minds on how to spend their winnings.
What are you going to be doing tonight?
Celebrating, $200 worth.
How are you going to do that?
Oh, Botanical Hotel, I think, really.
Some had saved enough energy for a patriotic gesture, and there was the one or two or three who couldn't quite handle the pace. But most survivors were on their best behaviour, and after talking about how much they would have won, or thinking my dress was better than hers, they'll probably survive another year for the running of the 1984 Melbourne Cup.
Well, I didn't see you in the members' car park, Bart, but I believe you did go to Tarak Shopping Centre during the week, is that right?
Oh, track was wonderful. Wonderful, yes. Marvellous shopping centre, I know that, but I couldn't even afford a window shop after the Cup. All the action at Flemington this week wasn't confined to Tuesday because Thursday was Oaks Day. It's a great meeting also in its own right. The VRC Oaks was won by Taj Eclipse and capped a great year for Darren Gouchy, the 17-year-old apprentice. It was his most important win, and he defeated Mick Dittman on the New Zealand filly Mapperley Heights. This had Taj Eclipse and Mapperley Heights fought out the end of the Oaks.
Corinda Signet swept to the lead, 300 to go, and here comes on the outside Rose of Dudley. Rose of Dudley's grabbed them quickly from Caissiere, clear of Mapley Heights and Taj Eclipse running on. But it's Rose of Dudley and Caissiere getting up on the fence. Caissiere took the lead. Mapley Heights and Taj Eclipse will get them though. It's Mapley Heights and Taj Eclipse charging to the lead. Taj Eclipse took the lead and Taj Eclipse wins it. A neck to Mapley Heights. Third placing Rose of Dudley. Caissiere just weakened on the line.
And Bart will be back with the action from Warwick Farm and Melbourne later in the program. We'll take a break here.
Celebrate longer in the car park.
I believe that's right too.
I think a few of them had a bit of trouble finding the gate. They were sort of wobbling a little bit towards the gate when I saw them leaving the car park. Anyway, the action yesterday in Sydney was at Warwick Farm. The opening event went to Fleming. This is a very good first-up performance. The favourite appease, never really a serious threat, slightly missed the start, but disappointing in the straight, I thought. This is how Fleming scored in the opening event, heavily back to start 4-1.
High energy and Absolute in the field at about 8 from the lead. Joe Dandy up to the bend, 450 to go, and Fleming by a length and a half, and Vari's Ace a length apiece locked up, and then comes Calm Sir. One Joe Dandy, High Energy, Dallas Prince and Fair Verdicts dropped out of the hunt. Around the corner and Fleming shot away, 300 to go. It's Fleming about 4 lengths now. Second is Vari's Ace. Apiece making heavy weather of it, and then comes Fair Verdict and Joe Dandy, but Fleming at the 100 in no danger. Fleming about 5 lengths on apiece, Vari's Ace and Fair Verdict, but Fleming is going to blitz them. And down to the line, it's Fleming winning at nearly 5 lengths. Second, Fair Verdict.
Mick Dittman's mount Fair Verdict making up plenty of territory to finish second. He might be better suited when the 2-year-old races are over 1,200 metres. The second event was the Luddenham Handicap. It went to Anything Tudor. He shot well clear before the home turn and was really never seriously threatened. Notice Rain Chant, just as they go over the line, and his rider S. Ratton takes a tumble, but we'll have a slow-motion look at that after the race.
Anything Tudor's rider is really going for home. And setting sail for the judge, it's Anything Tudor about 2.5 lengths on Huzzy. A length the Rose Diamond battling on, clear at Tamarind and Talent, then Lotka Star at the 150, and Anything Tudor a length and a half clear on Huzzy. Rose Diamond can't reach them, but Anything Tudor clear with 50 to run and in no danger. And Anything Tudor goes home to win it nicely from second Huzzy, third Tamarind.
Oh, we haven't got the slow-motion replay of young Ratton coming up. Yes, we are going to have a look. As you'll see them go over the line, you'll see Rain Chant, no horse around him. For no apparent reason, young Ratton comes off. Now, if it's possible to have a good spill, this is it, because he hits the ground, slides along. He doesn't have to worry about anything coming along behind him because he was at the rear of the field. So I can't really work out what happened to Ratton there, but he certainly...
3.5 with Pike, wasn't it?
It was a nice fall, wasn't it? But whether he just had from wasting, had a blackout or something, or something happened to his gear, I don't know, but there was no apparent reason for that fall. The third event went to Liquid Steel. He shared the lead with El Barco at the home turn. You'll notice Neville Voigt's flamboyant whip style. This is a graphic example of that over the final 200 metres, but he certainly does produce the goods.
Leads into the bend, and it's still Liquid Steel, a half El Barco. They've sprinted up front now, and 2 lengths to battle. He couldn't go, and they went up front. And as they turn now, the leader on the inside is Liquid Steel. El Barco's pressuring. 2.5 to battle. He's under the whip and not making any headway, and then folding money. Liquid Steel ridden for dear life by Voigt. Pinches 3/4 of a length. El Barco forget battle, then folding money. But Liquid Steel is safely holding El Barco, folding money and Fairy Prince. And Liquid Steel is untroubled. Liquid Steel a length and 3/4 to El Barco.
Sensational finish to the Preston's Handicap, the 4th event. The sequel to this race, there was a protest from the rider of Almerzo, Neville Voigt, against the winner Calaboose. You'll notice them very tight over the final 150 metres, but there doesn't appear to be a great interference. Obviously, stewards are of the opinion Calaboose was hanging in and inconveniencing Almerzo.
3 deep is Mr. Chauvinist, a length into Gadachi going up quickly, but he's in need of a run. Followed on the outside by Victory and Paris, and even deeper out is the Alchemist from Ben Bulbin looking for the way through, and Tollyman heads the remainder. Entering the stretch now, almost 3 in line. Mr. Chauvinist wide out, Calaboose in the middle, and Almerzo on the rail. Gadachi valiantly trying to get a gap between the 3 leaders, and he can't get out, he's bolting. But as they come to the 100, Almerzo and Calaboose, they've drawn clear. Ben Bulbin running on Calaboose, Almerzo. Calaboose, Almerzo, they hit it. Oh boy, this is tight.
It was a tight finish, and Gadachi, the one Ian Craig mentioned there, is not having any luck, certainly might be one to follow. 5th event was the Horsley Handicap. Wayne Harris has had a remarkable comeback in recent months, but on Friday he was suspended for 3 months by Canberra stewards after a retrospective inquiry into the running of a horse there some weeks back. Harris did gain a stay of proceedings to enable him to ride at Warwick Farm yesterday, and he scored here on Solo Lad. He slices outside the leader just after straightening, goes on to a very comfortable win on the 5-4 favourite.
The others headed by Belansky, who's a dozen from the lead. Around the corner and Proud Tradition on the inside, scooting through. A half Solo Lad in hot pursuit, and here's Spatane looming up from Note of Victory. That Solo Lad driven to a clear-cut lead coming to the 100. It's kicked a length and a half. Spatane clear of Note of Victory, but it's all the favourite. Solo Lad coming away from Note of Victory and Spatane, and Solo Lad just on 2 lengths to Note of Victory.
Sundance was sent out a long odds-on favourite in the 6th event. She wobbled around the home turn, shifted 4 or 5 horses, and young Pays had to really drive her hard with the whip over the final 150 metres to score by a neck, but not an entirely convincing victory.
By Desert Vale, and behind those next Pick-a-Pay goes San Phelan. Joy's Ambers dropped off quickly, and then comes at the head of the others turning for home Lady Starlight. At the 350 and Sundance running off the track a shade. It's about 4 or 5 off the inside rail. She leads nicely though, about 1 length and 3/4 to 2 lengths. Desert Vale second, followed by San Phelan, and then Tristram Rose and Pick-a-Pay. Sundance hands and heels by Pays at the 100 metres. Battling on the inside is San Phelan. Sundance still in front of San Phelan. Will hold that filly. It has only got to win by about a long neck to a half length, but is home. Sundance has beaten San Phelan.
Apprentice Ratton, who took that tumble from Rain Chant in the 2nd event, showed he'd taken no harm from the fall, with a very clever ride in the 7th event to score on Prince Harvey. He saves ground along the inside coming to the home turn, and then nabs the leader Ben Gur in the final 50 metres.
From Double Copy Haddington, then Grass Salad claimed the quest to Impulse at a length. Highland Lord homeward bound at the 400, and inside that point now as they straighten, Ben Gur a couple of lengths on Kingfish. Hermod third, followed by Prince Harvey, and 2 lengths to Christian Prince and Haddington. About 200 to go, and Ben Gur still 2.5 lengths on Prince Harvey, followed by Kingfish and Hermod. Ben Gur's rider has a quick peep at the 100 metres. It's still Ben Gur. It's in front, but Prince Harvey is swooping home now, and Prince Harvey does the better, and he gets up right on the line, and that's where it counts, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Another apprentice, Greg Knock, has been having a great run of late, and he produced a very clever ride here also to score on the Bart Cummings-trained Artist Man, who made a quick beard approaching the home turn, dashed away on straightening, and scores very comfortably from Lost Valley and Zephyr Tye.
Half length on Red Era. Zephyr Tye can't get out, followed by Artist Man, and behind those next is King Zam. 1.5 lengths to Lost Valley. Big Bicky's first around the bend. Zephyr Tye's almost out now if he's good enough, and as they straighten up, Artist Man sprinted quickly to head off Big Bicky's. Zephyr Tye struggling third, followed then by Tilachuri and Lost Valley, but it's Artist Man sprinting clear. Lost Valley 3 lengths away second, followed by Zephyr Tye, Big Bicky's and Tilachuri, but Artist Man is straighting its rivals in the last, and Artist Man goes to the post and wins it about 3 lengths to Lost Valley.
Big win that to Artist Man and Greg Knock. Let's have a look now at the double and treble information from Warwick Farm yesterday. The double numbers 1 and 6 paid $6.15. The treble 6, 1 and 6 paid $33.55. And the extra double from Warwick Farm 1 and 1, $11.45. That was the Warwick Farm meeting from Sydney yesterday. We'll take a break now and then come back and have a look at Flemington. And punter stepped off on the right mark with Catalina Queen in the opening event, set out favourite at 6 to 4 actually, and hard to be hard ridden by Brent Thompson over the final stages, but scores clearly at the finish from tap-in time and no confusion.
Then Reckless Hand and Our Seraphim pulled out wide on the track. At the 400, Calling Katie the leader, a half length to Belchatain, 1.5 lengths tap in time. Darling Sophia's under the whip struggling, and wider out as Our Seraphim and Calling Katie. It's still in front the favourite Catalina Queen, but it's starting to struggle a bit now. Tap in time's coming at it on the outside. Calling Katie given a hit with a whip, fights back though, holds onto a length lead, and Calling Katie running on fairly well back, but Catalina Queen draws away now, and Catalina Queen wins it by 2 lengths, 2 tap in time. No confusion, got up for third.
Brent Thompson having a very good Cup Carnival and scoring there on Catalina Queen. Second event was the Milady Stakes. It went to Natalie's Pride, always prominent and dashed clear after straightening. Walk With Me makes a very big finish and fails by a neck to fail to pick up Natalie's Pride, but a stylish effort from Walk With Me and could soon make amends.
Half length Natalie's Pride, 1.5 lengths further back in vogue on the outside. Lady Vanessa being scrubbed along here. Hello Shady's battling on, and they're followed by Ali, and then came Miss Manelli pull to the outside from Deep Discovery. In the straight they race, and Painted and Natalie's Pride together, 2 lengths to Lady Vanessa in vogue, followed by Ali. Hello Shady and Miss Manelli running on fairly. It's Natalie's Pride and Painted together. together with Lady Vanessa under the whip. Doggedly coming after them. They're followed by In Vogue. Natalie's Pride's got the better of Painted. Lady Vanessa struggling at the moment, and then came Ali from Combine. But Natalie's Pride raced well clear. Lady Vanessa trying hard. Here's Walk With Me flying when it's all over down the outside. Natalie's Pride in front. It'll win. Scores by about a neck to Walk With Me. Ali got third just in front of Lady Vanessa.
Big effort from Walk With Me there to get second. Third event was the Flemington Stakes, and Travaret, always prominent. You'll notice him in the pink colours. He looks as though he's set for quite a good win in the straight, and Suave Ted makes a bold bid over the final 200 metres, but on the line, Travaret was safely holding him.
Change comes over the field here, where we saw Travaret go to a narrow lead from the mostest, and Top Banner dropped in behind them on the fence, but he's still got room there. On the outside, Suave Ted's going quickly up to join the leaders, and Fiedja Star looking for a run through. He's got cut off on Top Banner now, and at the 400-metre mark now, we see going to the front is Travaret, very narrowly from on the inside. Top Banner getting through to tackle him with Suave Ted. Fiedja Star's under the whip, but with 200 to go, and Travaret tackled now on the outside by Suave Ted. The favourite's gone. It's Travaret the inside, and Suave Ted going stride for stride in the run home. Travaret still a half head in front. He's going to win. Travaret's wanted a long head, I suppose, to Suave Ted. Fiedja Star third.
Sydney 5-year-old Honest Promise was despised in betting in the George Adams. He started at 25 to 1. He was in front at the home turn. Just when most thought the fancied runners would race past him, he found an extra spurt, and really in the straight he was never seriously threatened until the final bit when French Current made a lunge at him. Feeling Fit battled on for third, and Beechcraft just knocked up.
Gives Ranger Sun a whack. Ranger Sun bumps him again, and they're knocking one another over. Honest Promise led with 400 to go from Feeling Fit. French Current, Worth. Beechcraft's getting out. They haven't got Honest Promise, though. Further back, Cool River can't win. It's Honest Promise in front. Feeling Fit trying to get to it with French Current. Beechcraft under the whip struggling. French Current's going to be the danger to Honest Promise, who's a length in front, but French Current cutting it down. It's Honest Promise a half in front. French Current gradually getting to the outside. Mightn't make it. It's going to be close. Oh, nearly a dead heat. I fancy Honest Promise might have won at a nostril to French Current, but nothing in it. Close for third. Idaho's Gift flew home.
Honest Promise just clinging onto that lead from French Current. The main event was the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and a great ride here from Noel Harris on Fountaincourt. I think some of the riders of the back markers in this were a little too patient in the middle stages. You'll notice a big break in the field. There's something like 20 lengths between the leading 5 horses and the rest of the field at one stage along the back of the track. And Mr. Jazz and Mr. McGinty had to make up tremendous ground coming to the home turn, and it wasn't surprising that Fountaincourt was just a little too strong in the straight. This is the Queen Elizabeth Stakes from the start.
Racing. And Lord Mob a fraction slow. Morning Fury, Crystal Dancer, Mr. Jazz away well. Tristram Lad booting across. Looks a fit horse today too, and he goes to the lead early. He'll steady him now. And on the outside, Deb's Mate's gone up to take the lead from Tristram Lad on the rails out of the straight. They were followed by Irish Lord up running third, and then Kiwi Exchange from Fountaincourt dropping in fifth on the fence from Mr. Jazz. Then Crystal Dancer a length to Mr. McGinty outside Morning Fury, 2 to Lord Mop. They're followed by Zama past the baton and Lanisa last. Heading to the 2000, Deb's Mate setting an even pace out. 2 lengths in front here from Tristram Lad inside Irish Lord. 4 lengths to Fountaincourt, a length and a half Kiwi Exchange. 4 lengths to Mr. Jazz. Half a length away then Crystal Dancer. 2 to Mr. McGinty, a length Morning Fury. 1.5 Lord Mop, followed by Zama past the baton and Lanisa. They're spread out over 25 lengths now as they headed to the 1600. Deb's Mate a length and a half to Irish Lord, and Tristram Lad on the inside a neck away. 3 or 4 lengths Fountaincourt, 1 to Kiwi Exchange. 10 lengths away Mr. Jazz, Crystal Dancer, 1 to Mr. McGinty. Then Morning Fury, a length to Lord Mop, followed by Zama, and then past the baton and a length to Lanisa. They're in 2 divisions. At the 1300, Deb's Mate a length to Irish Lord, a half Tristram Lad. 2 lengths Fountaincourt and Kiwi Exchange. 25 lengths away next Mr. Jazz, a length to Mr. McGinty. He's going to have to do the bullocking, Mr. McGinty, and then Crystal Dancer, Lord Mop. 2 to pass the baton, followed by Morning Fury, and Lanisa second last, and last of all is Zama. They're coming back a little bit now as they went past the 1,000-metre. Tristram Lad's broken down. He's gone back straight through the field and broken down, Tristram Lad. And coming down near to the 800-metre mark, Irish Lord moved up to join Deb's Mate. 3 to Kiwi Exchange, a length and a half Fountaincourt. About 4 or 5 lengths away then came Mr. Jazz with Mr. McGinty on the outside and past the baton making a good run. Then 2 to Lanisa, the others I don't think can win. On the turn, and Irish Lord sprinted to the lead. And the 3-year-old turned into the straight, a length and a half clear of Deb's Mate, Fountaincourt. Mr. Jazz and Mr. McGinty coming together from past the bat, and then Kiwi Exchange Lanisa. Fountaincourt coasted to the lead at the 300. Mr. Jazz and Mr. McGinty out after him, but Fountaincourt 2 lengths clear from Mr. McGinty on the outside from Mr. Jazz. Fountaincourt clear with 200 to go. Mr. McGinty with his big weights trying his heart out. He's starting to cut Fountaincourt down. He had to change course. Fountaincourt ran in front of him, but Fountaincourt will go on and win it by a couple of lengths to Mr. McGinty. He didn't persevere, Vance. Third, Mr. Jazz. Fourth, Irish Lord.
But Mr. McGinty's effort was very good from a viewpoint of the Japan Cup, which will be run in a few weeks. He's to leave Melbourne in a little over a week to travel to Tokyo, and certainly proved that he can handle the 1.5 miles of the Japan Cup, because he battled out that 2,500 metres yesterday in great style. I think his rider Bob Vance just set him a huge task by giving away that big start in the middle part. The 6th event, and Brent Thompson again to land a winning double when he scored on maiden century. Well back at the home turn, he comes with a very well-timed run to sweep to the lead about 150 metres out and hold off a late bid from the Arco Fair. Reception had every chance to get third.
3 parts to Reception, both going okay. A length and a half Wallingford hard-ridden from Little Cassiere's. Maiden century switched 3 deep from the Arco Fair, and last Babaccio. At the 400, Mozzie Bite had tackled this leader, Small Eyes, and coming at them Reception with Captain Piper. Here's maiden century running on well. Captain Piper and Reception bumped 3 or 4 times. Mozzie Bite in front with 300 to go. Reception and now maiden century tackling it from Captain Piper. Mozzie Bite in front, but maiden century's got it, I think, on the outside from Reception, and now the Arco Fair. Maiden century took the lead now from Reception. The Arco Fair, Mozzie Bite, and maiden century's going to win it about a neck to the Arco Fair, who flew home. Reception third, and they were followed by Mozzie.
Outstanding rider Brent Thompson. His battle with Darren Goutsey for premiership honours this year in Melbourne is going to be a highlight of Victorian racing. The 7th event went to Mighty Avalanche. A little easy in the market, 7-2 out to 6-1, but he was always prominent. You'll notice him in the orange colours, and he holds off Derive, and Harpagus, the leader, gets a little bit wobbles in the straight, but battles on for third.
Angelo's Bay just behind them, Mighty Avalanche joining them, and out wide are Mr. Magic, Ballyhurst, Atchar, and also Derive, and then top of the heather, Menacos behind them over on the inside. Harpagus clear, drifting off the track a little at the 300, led about 2 lengths to in second place Mighty Avalanche. Derive's the one coming home hard from Lockhart. Harpagus in front, Derive and Mighty Avalanche pegging it back. Mighty Avalanche and Derive have joined Harpagus. Mighty Avalanche put his head in front now. Derive coming at him on the outside, but Mighty Avalanche is going to win. About 3 parts of a length to Derive, third Harpagus.
The Grey Smith Stakes wound up the 4-day Cup Carnival. It went to Penny Edition, well ridden by Michael Pay. Starting at 7-1, defeated Dynamo, who looked a chance about 150 metres out, but on the line was being safely held. The heavily backed favourite Malvita finished up in 5th place.
Lead went past Rio de Janeiro. Star Gold tackled it. Prime Walk now up third, and then came Noble Falcon, Penny Edition the outside. Cavallo is looking for a run in that bunch of horses. Dynamo looking for somewhere to go around the corner, and Lynn Sind. Into the straight they race now, and it's Come to London, the Rails and Star Gold. A length and a half, Penny Edition going well if he can run the trip. Then Prime Walk, and they were followed by Melvita trying to make ground, with Dynamo starting to come into the picture over on the outside of them too. With 200 metres to go they race now, and Come to London tackled by Penny Edition, and Dynamo coming at them on the outside. Penny Edition the leader, Dynamo's coming at him strongly, and here comes Wholesome from last, but Penny Edition's carrying too many guns and he's going to win it. Penny Edition beats Dynamo, Wholesome third, Come to London fourth.
They were the 8 events from Flemington yesterday. The double and treble information now. Firstly, the double, 2 and 3, $18.05. The treble numbers, 4, 2 and 3, paid $596.80, while the extra double from Flemington, 2 and 1, paid $18. First event was the Miss Parramatta Stakes. The heavily backed favourite Germanic was awkwardly placed at the home turn, but he made a powerful burst to sweep to the lead at the 100 metres. He ducked in suddenly near the line, and it allowed Lucky Morning to make it a very tense finish, with the favourite gaining the verdict by a half head.
Being hard-ridden, followed on the outside, next by Germanic, pushed along, and the others headed by Lucky Morning around the corner. And Todd Hayes has taken up the running, a half length on Night Diamond, a length Ball of Fun. Casbar weaving clear, and behind those Kukana, then Regal Rogue. Now let's look for Germanic, and Germanic is starting to put in his claim. 200 to go. Night Diamond again raced up to head off the early pilot Todd Hayes. Germanic and Lucky Morning coming into it. It's Lucky Morning and Germanic. Germanic ducked in badly. The rider straightens it up. Is it going home to the line better? Bobbing finish. Germanic on the outside, and Lucky Morning. Germanic and Lucky Morning, the 2 in it. Ball of Fun up.
Great finish there with the favourite just getting the the verdict. Second event was the Tahiti Handicap, and Go Lindy, patiently ridden by Ron Quinton. You'll see him in the white cap, slices through on the inside to reach the lead only about 100 metres out, and he draws away to score decisively. The favourite, Heroic Blaze, had every chance. He looked the winner about 200 metres out.
Patrol, a length and a half, Heroic Blaze, about to go round them 3 deep, and then Go Lindy to the inside. A length and a quarter off. Next is the Cobb, Czar King at a good margin, Express Direct. Kinson with its ears scrubbed off, followed by Mo Wamba, and a long way out of its ground is Reuters News as they come down the side of the track. Now at the 500, preparing to swing, Brandy Apple there, closing in on Brandy Apple. It's history. King Zam's taken over. Heroic Blaze putting in its claim in company with Game Patrol, and then Go Lindy, the Cobb and Czar King, and Reuters News still a fair way back, trying to find a run nearer to the inside, but not succeeding. At the 200 now, and the Cobb has raced up to head off now. Heroic Blaze, Game Patrol third, then King Zam, Go Lindy, and Reuters News finally getting clear. Heroic Blaze fighting back. It's drawn level with the Cobb, and Go Lindy scorching up on the inside. It'll knock them all out, and Go Lindy racing home too well and scores a length and a half on the line. Go Lindy from Heroic Blaze, third the Cobb, fourth.
Clever ride there from Ron Quinton to score on Go Lindy. The third event was the Oceanside Handicap, and Set Magic and Crafty Way were the two leaders at the home turn. They had a great struggle in the straight. Set Magic just a little too strong, but Crafty Way, a first starter, I think will improve, and he could be one to follow. The favourite Place in Time, sent out at 7 to 4, was a little disappointing after having his chance in the straight.
Corner, and Crafty Way shows the way. A half Set Magic, Place in Time joining in, and then comes Picapago, followed by our Renee, and then Stark Fact, Little Matilda and Yellow Lady very deep from Hussar's Show at the 200. Crafty Way just leading Set Magic on the outside is the favourite Place in Time, inclined to race greenly from Hussar's Show. Set Magic almost level with Crafty Way, a race in 2. Set Magic going home better and gets up to win. Set Magic from Crafty Way, Hussar's Show and Place in Time. Then came at the head of the rest Stark Fact and
The fourth event was the Fiji Handicap, and No Brass. He cleared out with a big lead just after straightening. Wasn't seriously threatened in the straight, to score from All Chant, who battled on strongly, and Dottrell in third place.
One then to Lord Romeo, and a good gap immediately. New Dawn, about 3 or 4 sudden impulse, and then comes Hot Jar as they commence the swing with Oriental Crest tailing the field, homeward bound, and No Brass about 3 lengths on All Chant. In the third position, Vain Carrioi, 2.5 to Buena Gold, and 2 further back, Irish Glen and Dotterel at the 250, and No Brass's rider goes for the whip. It's still about 2.5 clear on All Chant, who's under the Persuader. Vain Carrioi third, Buena Gold next, and Dotterel running on, but it'll be too late. No Brass in front. He's tiring, but he's run them off their legs, No Brass, and No Brass raced on to win by nearly 2 lengths. Second All Chant, third Dotterel, fourth.
Dashing ride that from young apprentice Greg Knock, who's certainly showing a ton of promise. Fifth event was the Tooheys Country race, and it was won by Ron Quinton again, giving him a winning double. Quinton scored here on Our Shout. A very impressive performance too. Well ridden by Quinton, settled just off the speed. He's the widest runner on the home turn, but he was always in command in the straight.
On the outside, next being Impulsive from Red Era, Young Charger last tobacco, or some 8 or 9 from the lead. And the lead is being held still by Regal Roarer, 600 to go. Copper Shoes second. Udders Man hooked off the fence, moving up 3 deep to third from Veloso, and Quinton's taking off on Our Shout. They straighten at the 350, and Our Shout and Artist Man have joined Copper Shoes, with Our Shout a neck on Artist Man. A half to Copper Shoes, 2 lengths Tuna 2, and the others headed by Fabuloso and Young Charger. Our Shout at the moment going better than Artist Man, and kick clear at the 120, and is home and hosed Our Shout. 2 lengths Artist Man, Copper Shoes. Tuna 2 will probably get up for third, but it's Our Shout winning easily. Our Shout by nearly 2 lengths on the line to Artist Man. Third home Tuna 2 then.
As I said, a double there to Quinton. He'll be out of the saddle for a month or so. He's to enter hospital tomorrow for an operation, so Sydney punters are sure going to miss Quinton. The sixth event, and most impressive, was sent out favourite at odds on. He certainly lived up to his name. A very stylish win this, and imposing. His sire has certainly had a great start to his stud career. He's got some outstanding youngsters in his first season.
Right out off the track, and most impressive, burning up on the inside to take over from Running Game. To the outside goes our Billy Boy, and a good margin away next, Futuristic, and then comes Weapons and Mere Words. At the ledger, 300 metres to Gallop, and Allendorf hands and heels on most impressive. It's a half length on Running Game, and Hardwick's had to go for the whip on that horse. A length Futuristic, but most impressive kick right away. Most impressive inside the 100, in no danger. Second posse Futuristic from Running Game, but most impressive is just that. Most impressive, 3.5 lengths on the line. 2 Futuristic, Running Game third, then Mere.
Keen judges rated Noble Connection well weighted in the 7th event, and he certainly was very impressive in this win. He really shoots away at the home turn, put the issue quickly beyond doubt, and he strolls in, never really threatened. Baldior and Bissett battled on well, but to open the door, the favourite, never a winning threat. He was always well back in the ruck.
Comes Maybe Lucky and Compelled. Around the corner, the rider on Noble Connection, I refer to Jane Nisbet, is going for home. It's about 3 or 4, Baldior and Bissett, then Star Yacht, 2 lengths Gadachi, Bacchetta, and open the door, starting to hang off the track. He'd need to get a move on, but it's Noble Connection at the 200. 4 on Baldior. Bissett third, open the doors, 1,000 to 1, followed by Gadachi, but Noble Connection, he's an honest racehorse. He's holding Baldior clear of Bissett, and Noble Connection is untroubled. Noble Connection has won it nicely from Baldior. Third, Bissett, then Gadachi.
Punters rounded off the Rosehill meeting on a sour note with the defeat of the 2-to-1 favourite Zapotia. He looked to have his chance about 200 metres out when he shot after the leader Real Dream, but over the final 100 metres he was being safely held by Real Dream.
Prince Vanquish, and then Bold Trio, Avon Echo, Prince Mundo, Astro Star and Dark Ages from Kids Beer, and then comes Bogan Rush, All the Aces, Beacon, and Busy Laws last around the corner. And L'Artiste about to be taken on by John Dye, getting a beautiful split between L'Artiste and Real Dream, but Real Dream at the 300 metres kicks. Real Dream a length on John Dye, immediately under pressure, followed by Zapotia putting in his claim, and 2 length Sounds of Morning. Real Dream in front, but Zapotia's the danger on the outside. It's Real Dream still in front. Zapotia, I don't think we'll get Real Dream. Real Dream hanging on Zapotia, won't make it, and Real Dream's beaten Zapotia. Close for third, Astro Star and John Dye with Bold Trio.
Oh, the 8 events from Rosehill yesterday. We're looking now at the double and treble information. The double numbers 2 and 3 paid $9.25, while the successful treble combination was 13, 2 and 3, paid $801.05. We'll take a break now in Sports Scene and come back after that break and have a look at the Sandown Cup meeting from yesterday. Bright note for punters, with the Tommy Hughes trained Rift Valley landing a massive plunge, backed in from 7 to 1 to 5 to 2, and an eye-catching debut here from this beautifully bred filly. She was always in the lead and really wasn't pushed right out by apprentice Craig Din to record a very, very impressive win.
Just the leader from Vert Moss on the corner, 2 lengths Gypsy Sands, Pike Hall Lady, then Tuto Tutsi and Anjaya, followed by Native Crest, and further back Box and Dice and Hummocks Bell. Rift Valley drew a length and a half in front of Vert Moss, who's out after it again at the 300. Then came Gypsy Bell in a gap to Tuto Tutsi. Rift Valley kept going hands and heels, about 3/4 of a length of Vert Moss, holding it safely at the 200, kicked away, and Rift Valley's drawing away 2 lengths to Vert Moss, and then Tuto Tutsi, and coming home fairly well Santa Orien, but Rift Valley goes on to win by 2.5 lengths to Vert Moss. Great battle for third. Santa Orien might have got up on the outside in a close one for third. With
impressive first up effort that from Rift Valley. Crack apprentice Darren Gouchy produced a classic ride to score on Mackinnon in the second event. Awkwardly placed at the home turn, Mackinnon spears through in the centre to hit the lead about 100 metres out. Gouchy, unfortunately, was injured a little later in the program. It's feared he may have broken a collarbone, so he'll be out of action for some weeks. But this is a very good ride here on Mackinnon.
My Marseillaise, followed by Winsomely. Then Campaign Queen on the inside is Roulette Star. Mackinnon looking for a run into the outside, Suitably Vague. In the straight they race now, and Copper Kelly just the leader from Russian Grey, Suitably on the outside. Autumn Splendour, hard ridden, is tackling them, and coming home quickly is Suitably Vague, and they're followed by Lady Eclipse and Mackinnon running on with 150 to go. Mackinnon's got the split and has pounced on the leaders. Mackinnon has taken the lead now from Suitably Vague, and then Dunwoody and Lady Eclipse, and Mackinnon's racing right away. Mackinnon scores 1.5 lengths. Second placing Lady Eclipse, third was Suitably Vague.
Slick Draw, another from the Tommy Hughes stable, heavily backed to win this event and scores very handsomely, aided by an inside run at the home turn, but he was always in command in the straight. The favourite, Kentish, ran a shocker, and obviously he's suffering from some sort of injury, and perhaps he might be one to keep in mind for the new year after a spell.
Out wide on the track too, it's lost ground, Kentish. Then Arabian Myth back behind them, followed by O'Johnny. As they come near the turn, I don't think Kentish, he's not doing anything. Toretto is the leader with Farlap, but it's hanging Toretto. And on the inside, Slick Draw getting up to join them. Kentish is not in the race. Slick Draw shot away with 300 to go, 2 or 3 lengths in front of Starlap. They were followed then by, on the inside is Lemon Bitter, Toretto out wider, and Comanche's Kid struggling on. And Kentish is going to run last, but with 200 to go, Slick Draw well clear, 2 or 3 lengths clear. Boulder Star starting to rattle home with Comanche's Kid, but much too late, and Slick Draw is going to win it easily. Scores by about 2 to 2.5 lengths. Close between the Boldest and Comanche's Kid for second. They were followed.
The Sandown Guineas was one of the feature events on yesterday's Cup program. It produced a boil-over result with Mr Ironclad starting at 50 to 1, scoring a very good win. He was second last early, in fact last in the middle stages. He circles the field and sustains a very long run to win well from Centane. Wage Freeze was a little boxed up on the home turn. He did get clear about 200 metres out, and I thought he had his chance to win from there. And the favourite, Beechcraft, very disappointed.
A pretty good line. Barnstorming away well. Worth is showing great speed early, and the Challenge going up on the outside. They were followed then by Centane on the inside. Keeper's got away nicely with Spot on Dennis and then Riverdale. Wonder Wage Freeze over on the inside is Beachevelle. A length further back, Beechcraft and John O'More, and then Mr Ironclad and Look Aloft is last. Heading to the 1200 and Barnstorming out a length and a half to the Challenge, up doing it well second. Centane pulling a little bit third on the outside of Worth. Then Spot on Dennis, a length to Wage Freeze, a length Beachevelle, 3 parts to Beechcraft, then a length to Riverdale, followed by Look Aloft, and then Keepers, who's dropped out to second last. John O'More just in front of it and Mr Ironclad at the rear. Barnstorming led at the 850, about to swing down the hill. A length and a half to the Challenge. One away is Centane. On the rails is Worth. Spot on Dennis 3 deep. A length to Wage Freeze. Then Beachevelle. A length to Beechcraft. And going around them quickly now, Riverdale. They were followed further back in the field then by John O'More, hard ridden. Mr Ironclad behind it from Keepers and Look Aloft. The field packs up at the 600. Barnstorming joined by the Challenge in front. A length and a half. Worth, who's had the run of the race. On the outside of it is Centane. Beechcraft's dropped out to third last. Into the straight now, and the Challenge is the leader on the outside. Took over the running. Worth trying to get out. Centane's coming at them now, and Mr Ironclad with a big run. Beechcraft starting to wind up out wide. However, the leader, Centane's gone up to the Challenge. Mr Ironclad is there. Wage Freeze trying to get out. Beechcraft under the whip, not going home well enough. It's Mr Ironclad on the outside, racing to Centane. Mr Ironclad has taken the lead, and here's a big boil-over in the event as they go to the line, and Mr Ironclad has won it from Centane. Wage Freeze.
It's another ad for the Queensland winter. Of course, Mr Ironclad came up here in May and June, and he showed a lot of promise but struck a lot of wet tracks. The